unfortunately no longer the DNA to Sean Daniel.
The court process is always a very daunting one, probably made even more so by it being the most famous court in the land, the Old Bailey. I get nervous at the Old Bailey. I can only imagine how nervous and traumatic it was for the family.
We had to gear ourselves up for the trial. I've never been to court, we've never experienced anything like this. So we were psyching ourselves up for it.
I particularly was very, very scared because when we first set eyes on the two lads, they had no remorse whatsoever. No remorse. And that was painful. Painful.
In court, we were able to find out exactly what had happened. We were able to also watch it on the CCTV as well, and how Tashawn did spend the last moments of his life, and that my friend was also pleading to Tashawn to hang on and to do the best he could to stay alive. And it just goes to show the damage that, one, that knife did, and two, the power that the attacker did use to harm Tashawn.
How much for what?
11.
When kids start making money,
Who's next?
Chase can help them figure out how to manage it. With smart tools and guidance from expert bankers.
Wow. Now that's a first deposit. Let's get your account open. Yeah? Give me some.
That's good for kids and good for parents. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Real when it was the first day of the trial, they asked quite a lot of times, and I just remember questioning, like, how do you have the audacity to look at us in the eye? Lanning, he did not look at us at all. He kind of kept himself to himself. He didn't turn back. He looked straight at the judge.
Alex Lanning, he admitted to manslaughter, but claimed that it was an accident, that Tashawn had fallen on the knife. And then those defences seemed to change and morph slightly during the trial, but he always denied the murder.
When I heard the defence's story, I was just shocked, really. I think that's the best way to describe it. I couldn't believe the stuff that they were saying.
The defense team tried to make it out that Tashawn's friend started the altercation by saying, "What are you looking at?" And Tashawn had fired a punch to one of the guys, but he was actually trying to block himself when you watch the footage. Tashawn was literally trying to protect himself. Within a split second, he did that to my child. Defense team saying it was an accident. It was not an accident. It was actually, he went out there to do something to somebody. You do not walk the street with the type of knife that he walked with.
Felt hatred really, and it's not, our nature to be like that. But just felt an immense hatred that two people could do something like that to someone else, go on the run for 10 days, and some of the stuff that we heard in court was heartbreaking.
Alex Lanning received a life sentence in relation to murder. He will not be eligible for parole for 25 years. And Jonathan Camille was convicted of manslaughter and was sentenced to 6 years and 6 months for his part in the offence. And I think that is appropriate. the fact that Jonathan Camille wasn't responsible for the blade being forced into Deshard's chest. Nevertheless, his specific involvement during that violence was a catalyst to all of the events. And he has to accept his responsibility for the death of Deshard almost as much as Alexander.
The nature of these offenses was entirely impulsive and completely reckless. Truly, it could have happened to anybody on that platform that day, and unfortunately, it just so happened to happen to Deshaun.
This was like a 5-minute event. Alex landing on one platform, starting a confrontation, an argument for no reason. And he could have just walked away, and he didn't. And now the family are left with that huge hole, and they can't feel that.
As parents, we had to watch in disbelief as the paramedics worked on our son's lifeless body on that platform at Hillingdon. A platform which we will never be able to use again.
It's frightening to think that all of this can come from a glance. You look at the wrong person in a certain kind of way that they interpret as a funny look or a dirty look. This is across a train platform. Chances are that he wasn't even looking at them in the first place, and if he were, so what? This is a frightening part about this. The fact that violence can spring from such a tiny, tiny trigger.
I feel upset for my brother. He didn't get to have those dreams that he wanted. And it's just, it's undescribable to say how angry I feel about how he was killed because someone didn't like the way he looked at him.
My heart is broken, and it's never going to be mended. Never again.
It would have been beautiful to see how his life would have planned out. It would have been beautiful to see that because he's a good human being.
Oh, shit.
He's a loving human being.
Because one time I did break this window by leaning on it, but that was not recently.
There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about what he'd be doing right now with his athletics, with
Thank
his
God.
smashing the goals.
But
We used to watch the show train
this one over
here. We
here.
used to watch him compete here. That's full of lots of good family memories actually. A massive, huge hole in our hearts and our lives. I think everyone's got their own memories of Deshaun. It's definitely fond, happy
They
memories.
repaired this window that I also broke once before. Like right before they sold the property to this new Pam Franklin person.
I'm really pleased to hear that. I know that we raised a fine young man. And to hear the amazing words about him
111.
from my heart of joy.
As you can see, not much has really changed apart from this little buffer on my face.
Think against the Sean stage.
Found this absolutely gorgeous swimming hole.
See how his life would have planned out. It would have been beautiful to
I'm loving this new outfit. Yeah. Every time I drive, I feel like I'm in a movie now. Oh, wow, that's an entrance.
Is she okay?
Oh yeah, they always are.
Chinese motorcycles still upset. So, they didn't.
I can do this all day. Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid.
Where's Amber? Oh, she's gonna get you.
I'm gonna get you.
She's coming to get you.
Found this absolutely gorgeous swimming hole right at the top of a 125-foot waterfall. First hot day of the year, so waterfall's down that way.
See how his life would have planned out. It would have been beautiful to see that because he's a good human being. He's a loving human being.
Because one time I did break this window by leaning on it, but that was not recently. Thank God.
There were over 1,500 tips that came into our tip line.
This one over here.
Nobody just vanishes without a trace.
I see a huge hole in our hearts and their lives.
Posters on every story, walking through their bumper stickers, billboards
I
all over
have
town.
memories of Sean.
It was absolutely a stranger abduction.
It's definitely funny.
They repaired this window that I also broke once before. Like right before they sold the property to this new Pam Franklin person.
Fine young man.
First time I just going
Yeah,
to
it's amazing what that's doing.
111.
crazy after that. She was the most beautiful baby ever. I used to take her to the mall, and I would come back home and change her outfit and take her back to the mall just so people would tell me how beautiful she was, because she was just like a perfect little angel. Oh, there you are. There's how you do it. There's how you do it.
Dad, are you Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
I woke up early for work that morning, and I went in and woke Amber up and told her I'd be home.
See how his life would have planned out. It would have been beautiful to see that because he's a good human being. He's a loving human being.
And I would see her later.
Because one time I did break this window by leaning on it, but that was not recently.
There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about what I'm doing right now.
Thank God.
My father got home and called me, and that was like 4 o'clock when he got home from work, and told me that Amber wasn't home yet.
This one over here.
And at that time, I called his cell phone. He didn't pick up. And then Dave called me back and said he went to the high school. She didn't make
I see a huge hole in our hearts and their lives.
February 13, 2009, our
I think I was there. I remember the
call of a missing person, a 14-year-old girl.
It's definitely funny.
They repaired this window that I also broke once before.
The police were already there when I got home. And they asked me
Like
what
right
she was
before they
wearing.
sold the property to this new Pam Franklin person.
And I said, something bad has happened to her. Can we do an Amber Alert? And he's like, can't do an Amber Alert unless there's a vehicle involved that we know of.
Our officer that took the report realized right away that although he has taken many missing persons reports, and especially young people,
This one seemed different to him.
Because one time I did break this window by leaning on it, but that was not recently.
The school called the house and left a message.
Thank God.
The goal was make it to school because we weren't home, we were both at work, so we didn't get that message. I didn't think she had lost track of time to her cell phone and she wasn't answering. And it's just not like her. I knew the second that she didn't make it to school that something bad had happened.
I see a huge hole in our hearts and their lives.
The officer talked to some of her friends. They said that she had and so he had brought in other officers.
They repaired this window that I also broke once before.
Including kind of a rural river area that's behind the school.
Like right before they sold the property to this new Pam Franklin person.
The officer that took the initial report marked it as suspicious missing, which then rose to the investigation.
111.
How his life would have
There was
planned out.
obviously a lapse between when she had left the house that morning and never arrived to school to the time that actually we got the.
Because one time I did break this window by leaning on it, but that was not recently.
Timescales are so crucial. The first hour is known as the
Thank
golden
God.
hour, and that's because that is where we've got the most chance of finding that child alive and well. And actually, many children go missing and they usually found within that time frame. But then, as the first 24 hours ticks by, there's 48 hours, and so on and so on. The chances of finding them alive and well just diminish by the minute.
They accessed all her emails, they accessed all of her contacts.
They repaired this window that I also broke once before.
And what we found
like right before they sold the property to this new Pam Franklin person.
One of the things that she were all about animals and learning more about animals.
11-1.
God made animals because they are nice.
111.
Thank you,
How his
God.
life would have planned out. It would have been beautiful to see that. Because he's a good human. He's a loving human being.
$1, I would buy one tadpole.
Because one time I did break this window by leaning on it, but that was not recently. I remember that episode where Topanga wanted to work at SeaWorld and talk to the dolphins. I remember seeing dolphins on the Apple TV when I went to see Jay's apartment, who was a Libra, very handsome.
The school had a program that they could purchase.
I know his
sheep that she could raise to
ex
a future farmers
had
program.
suspiciously passed away, and now I think I know more. Hendrix or something. They repaired this window that I also broke once before.